So we're going to pick up from where we left off in Moorish Paradigm, Book 13 by Hakeem Bey. Vine and fig tree. Going into a quote from the Holy Quran. All men are one and equal to seek their own destiny and to worship under their own vine and fig tree, after the principles of the holy and divine laws of their forefathers. And that was page 57 of the Holy Quran, Circle 7, divinely prepared by Noble Jew Ali. Every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree. The pyramid university system, aka the mystery school system. The seal represents the divine side of the nation. The eagle represents the national side. The reason the pyramid is used on the divine side is because the pyramid symbolizes the pyramid university system, which once formed a belt around the planet Earth. In this pyramid university system was taught the first creed of salvation on the Earth planet. This system, which is sometimes referred to as the mystery system, taught by fallen humanity how to return to our original godlike state, spirit man of perfection and oneness with our Father God, Allah. To every nation, a prophet is sent. Over the millennia, as men spread all over the planet Earth, prophets and teachers were sent to every nation. And thus, the pyramid university system formed a belt around the whole planet. As a result, the global cataclysms of 1500 BC, being the flood, destruction of Atlantis, etc., the system was disrupted, and this led to confusion of the tongues, where we get the Babel, the Tower of Babel story, etc., symbolic story. This confusion of the tongues involved not only the formation of various dialects of language, but dialect in the culture or teaching. Each set of prophets teaching adapted to the specific geographic and cultural environments of the people to whom they were sent. Thus, you have the different religions and cultures. This is why it says on our nationality cards that we honor all divine prophets: Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, to name a few. All of these various prophets and religions fall under Islam and the crescent moon and star. The crescent moon and star is seen by all peoples and prophets when they look into the heavens, everywhere on this planet Earth. This is why under the crescent moon and star on our divine constitution, it says salvation. And on the nationality card, it says Islam. Thus, all divine prophets and religions in original and true sense fall under the crescent moon and star and Islam. The eye and the pyramid thus represents the divine side of government, which was duly reactivated by the prophet. Prior to the prophet, true divine government had fallen, represented by the fall of the Ottoman Caliphate in Turkey. As we exercise under the divine government represented by the all-seeing eye, Allah, and pyramid, it will be a sanctuary for all national peoples to worship under their own vine and fig tree, i.e. religion. Above the eye and pyramid, it says Anut Coeptus, meaning that Allah is the origin and head of divine government and has favored or commissioned divine government, whose chain of command descends from Allah to Nabi, or in other words, prophet, Arabic Nabi, and from thence to his caliphs. Caliphs would be the successors of the prophet. The caliphs of the Moorish Science Temple of America are known as Supreme Grand Sheiks and chairmen of the Moorish Science Temple. As we carry out the prophet law on the divine side first, our divine rights as citizens and birthrights has to be recognized and cannot be infringed upon by the national government of the United States of America due to the separation of church and state. Church and state, i.e. divine and national, and religious freedom. That is why the Prophet Noble Jew Ali said in the Moorish literature, quote, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you." Back to the citizen part, that's what caught my eye. We're talking about activity. Once you show that you're a citizen of your own organization, your own body politic, your own clan, and you sustain at a certain level where, okay, that's unity over there. They sustaining, they got infrastructure, different people at different positions doing certain things. There's growth. Back to now, it's respectable. That's the whole message. Now you can invoke these laws that we know that's on the books that are favorable. We can't invoke that unless back to the sniff test. Sophia Stewart, mother of the Matrix. Many of you may not have heard about this, but a sister by the name of Sophia Stewart is the one who wrote the original story, which the movie The Matrix was stolen from. She is currently involved in a lawsuit against the Wachowski brothers, Joel Silver, and Warner Brothers. The movie Terminator also was stolen from her original work, which was called The Third Eye, copyrighted by her in 1981. I heard an interview with this sister, and I must truly say, this sister is deep. The original work, The Third Eye, is about the Eye of Heru, or Heru, as shown on the seal with the eye in the pyramid. She is also adept in numerology. This is why you see all of the green numbers coming down in the beginning of the Matrix. She says that everything in the universe is governed by the numbers, even the angels. All must obey except for man, who has free will and choice. Remember, choice was the key in the Matrix. Below is a news article on her. I included the correction they made as well. She did not win the suit in October 2004, as the rumor in our community would have. She won the right for the case to move forward at that time. At the time of this writing, she was supposed to have went to court this past July 2005, but something happened in which her lawyers did not file paperwork correctly or on time. She has stated that these lawyers have sabotaged her case. I will post an update in next month's issue of the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. That's interesting. It's 2005. Monday, October 4th, 2004, ended a 6-year dispute involving Sophia Stewart and the Wachowski brothers, Joel Silver and Warner Brothers. Stewart's allegations involving copyright infringement and racketeering were received and acknowledged by the Central District of California Judge Margaret Morrow residing. Interesting. That's out here, huh? Stewart, a New Yorker who has resided in Salt Lake City for the past 5 years, will recover damages from the films The Matrix 1, 2, and 3, as well as The Terminator and its sequels. She will soon receive one of the biggest payoffs in the history of Hollywood, as the gross receipts of both films and their sequels total over $2.5 billion. Stewart filed her case in 1999 after viewing The Matrix, which she felt had been based on her manuscript, The Third Eye, copyrighted in 1981. In the mid-80s, Stewart had submitted her manuscript to an ad placed by Wachowski brothers requesting new sci-fi works. According to court documentation, an FBI investigation discovered that more than 30 minutes had been edited from the original film in an attempt to avoid penalties for copyright infringement. The investigation also stated that credible witnesses employed at Warner Brothers came forward, claiming that the executives and lawyers have full knowledge that the work in question did not belong to the Wachowski brothers. These witnesses claimed to have seen Stewart's original work and that it had been often used during preparation for the motion pictures. Then defendants tried on several occasions to have Stewart's case dismissed without success. Stewart has confronted skepticism on all sides, much of which comes from Matrix fans who are strangely loyal to the Wachowski brothers. On one line forum entitled Matrix Explained has an entire section devoted to Stewart. Some who have researched her history and writings are open to her story. Others are suspicious and mocking. It doesn't bother me, said Stewart in a phone interview last week. I always knew what was true. Some fans are unaware of the case, or they question its legitimacy due to the fact that it has received little to no media coverage. Though the case was not made public until October 2003, Stewart has her own explanation, as quoted in DaGhettoSimons.com. Quote, the reason you have not seen any of this in the media is because Warner Brothers' parent company is AOL Time Warner. This giant owns 95% of the media. Let me give you a clue as to what they own in the media business. New York Times paper magazines, LA Times paper magazines, People magazine, CNN, CNN News, Extra Celebrity Justice, Entertainment Tonight, HBO, New Line Cinema, DreamWorks, Newsweek, Village Roadshow, and many, many more. They are not going to report on themselves. They have been suppressing my case for years. That sounds like the Ashkenazis. Fans who have taken Stewart's allegations seriously have found eerie mythological parallels, which seem significant in a case that revolves around the highly metaphorical and symbolic Matrix series. Sophia, the Greek goddess of wisdom, has been referenced many times in speculation about Stewart. In one book about the goddess Sophia, it reads, the Black Goddess is the mistress of the web creation, spun in her divine matrix. Although there have been outside implications as to racial injustice, Stewart, and then remember, this is they saying African American, but remember the perspective of who's this is not Hakeem Bey. This is coming from an editorial. She does not feel that this is the case. This is all about the Benjamins, said Stewart. It's not about money with me, it's about justice. Stewart's future plans involve a record label entitled Pop Silk Records and a motion picture production company, All Eyes on Me, in reference to God. I wrote the third eye to wake people up, to remind them why God put them here. There's more to life than money, said Stewart. My whole message to the world is about God and good, and about choice, about spirituality prevailing over technocracy. If Stewart represents spirituality, then she truly has prevailed over the technocracy represented in both the Terminator and the Matrix, and now, ironically, by their supposed creators. Stewart is currently having discussions with CBS about a possible exclusive story and has several media engagements in the near future to nationally publicize her victory. Correction regarding previous story. In reference to the recent article entitled Mother of the Matrix, Victorious, some information has been deemed misleading. Miss Sophia Stewart has not yet won her case against Joel Silver, Time Warner, and the Wachowski brothers. The decision on October 4th enabled Miss Stewart to proceed with her case, as all attempts to have it dismissed were unsuccessful. Miss Stewart's case will proceed through the Central District Court of California. So they have federal court. A picture's worth 1,000 words. But so before we get into this, you see how they getting down. You see how they try to blackball her. They outright stole her material. Bluntly. She got evidence and they covered it up because they own everything. They own the media. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Unexpected faces in ancient America. The following pictures below are from the book Unexpected Faces in Ancient America by Alexander von Wolfenow. This is one of the source materials used by Ivan Van Sertima in his books on our heritage in the Americas. I never thought I would find this book. I was blessed to find it in a used bookstore in New York City one day. Divine law governs all events. We have a picture of the terracotta figure from the province of Guanacaste in Costa Rica. Underneath, we have a quote from the Holy Quran, which was from chapter 47, and quote, their dominion and inhabitation extended from Northwest and Southwest Africa across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. Now, the connection being made, obviously, and I'm saying obviously because I'm not going to assume that it's obvious, but the connection being made with chapter 47 in this picture, clearly within the dominions. Costa Rica is clearly in the dominions. The Tactical Terracottas pre-classic. Pre-classic is a time period. Here's a quote from an Atlantic Journal. I had always believed that the Atlantes of Africa have partly colonized America, as so many ancient writers have affirmed. This belief led me to search for any preserved fragments of the alphabets of West Africa and Libya, the lands of the African Atlantes, yet existing under the names of Berber, Tuareg, and Shillus, etc. Same people. Found in America first. That's the key part. Don't forget that part. The foreigner just saying African. They saying, oh, it's African. Like when you have a book called by Ivan Van Sertima, they were here before Columbus. The African presence in ancient America. If you don't have scholarship, you're going to think, oh, it was some people from Africa in America before the Indians or something. That's where most people that don't have no scholarship, so it's misleading. If it's Americans that never been to so-called Africa, then how is these people the original American African? That's why Noble Ali said, yeah, I'm gonna call it Africa, but the divine name is a Mexican. I'm just gonna keep saying Africa just for the, and the only way that makes sense, the whole Africa thing, is if you're talking about Terra, as far as Earth, then yeah, it's Africa. And that if you're talking, if you're constantly saying Africa and you're constantly saying it like, oh, it's Earth, because it's Terra, like Africa means Terra and Terra means Earth, then that's cool. So we have a Totonic sun dancer from Veracruz in the classic period. We know Veracruz, right? Where that's at. The Atlantes of North Africa. So if we're talking about over there, and how's the Atlantes of North Africa? Let's make sense of that. Unless North Africa is North America. The Atlantes of North Africa, who gave their name to Atlas Mountains, and whose descendants existed there as yet under the names of Tuaregs, Berbers, and Shula, Sholik, etc., was one of the primitive nations of both continents. They came to America soon after the flood, if not before, colonized and named the ocean and the islands in it, as well as America, which was called the Great Atlantis. And all this is from the perspective of C.J. Radzinski, right? More images of ancientness, more images of antiquity, of you in Costa Rica. Another quote from C.S. Ralphinsky. Too many, this fact of old Black nations in America will be new, yet it is an important feature of American history. Once again, when we're mingling with people and we're trying to wake them up, or they're not even trying to, like, they coming to you because you in your turban, you're in your fez, they coming to you with questions. You want to be able to break it down. We should have ammo after ammo by now. But, this particular group has been studying for a while, so it's like, just know why we were being illuminated. It's to get it to the point where we can be a vessel to explain it to somebody else. If we already read the books, we already compiled the information, we saving other people time. Of course, we can put curriculums together to see if people are competent. Like I say, new people coming in, like I say, I got them reading more as tactical and doing a written or oral you know, rendition to show that they comprehended or what they comprehended before we move on. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, you know, even within the organization, still sharp and still, we need to know where we're at and be truthful with each other. And so we can be better, but you know, sharper everybody is, the better. So I'm gonna stop it right here. We'll pick it up. Let me see page. On page 35. That's where we'll pick it up in Moore's Paradigm when we pick it back up on Wednesday. So I want to open the floor. Any thoughts? What stood out, etc. No thoughts on the piece? Notes that was taken?
Well, a couple of things that I wrote down. The pyramid university system equals the mystery school system. And then a picture is worth 1,000 words. Like, we really have to pay attention to like the symbolism and everything that's in front of us, because everything is right in our faces. It's just a matter of like everybody is on different levels. So all of us sharing our different perspectives, it kind of like wakes people up in different ways. So yeah.
Mhm. Yes, wow. Anybody else? Any thoughts? What stood out to them?
I could say that that's why it's important for us to you know, do what we're doing, study together, man, because comprehension is everything, you know. And I know what comprehension means, but I looked it up and I was like, I kind of tripped out on the meaning of it. It was to unite, to siege. And then it also said to arrest criminals. So it's like that's something big right there, you know what I mean? Because if people, you know, read, they can read alone and by themselves, but are they comprehending it the same as we are? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure, like, a lot of books been out here for a long, long time, and I know it's millions and hundreds of thousands of people that read it already, but they not walking around with the right comprehension. You know, so it's important for us to, you know, do what we're doing so we can have one understanding.
Yeah.
X.
Yes, yeah. You got something, Carmisha?
I was thinking about the woman, I can't even remember her name, but like with the whole Matrix thing, like
Sophia?
yeah, like just how much, you know, how like everything is like stolen or whatever. But I'm just thinking, what would that movie or trilogy, whatever, what would that have been like without the theft? You know what I'm saying? What it like just her being able to express the story through film and stuff like that. Ain't no telling what that could have been. I mean, it's
Right.
not like we missing out, but you know what I'm saying? Like just to experience that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. That was new to me. I didn't know it went down like that. Yeah, that's some cold crooks, man. Um, any other thoughts?
Yeah, Islam, just to add to that, she's working on some new projects, and she recently had a video out that says basically what this one said about Terminator being the past and Matrix being the future of the same timeline. And same thing, Wachowski brothers sold it, all that stuff. But I don't know if she ever got paid or not, but she's supposed to be working on some projects.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, just keep in mind, like, we have organizational mission statement standards. Back to, like I said, we are ambassadors when we out and about to, for one, like I say, if you in a fez and a turban, somebody's gonna come up to you. And it's just about having that vibration, like I say, competently being able to express what the organization is about, why it's important, what we're about, what's the aim, as far as economically, how we're going about things, Wednesday, Friday meetings, Sunday meetings, what they need to do. Like I say, now they need to show that they are competent and have read Morris Tactical. That's for new people coming in. That's off top. That's just a something that's part of the situation as far as new members. So, if everybody could play the ambassador role for the organization wherever they at, because when we disperse and we're not together, we're in different areas. So therefore, it's different people that one body could be, recovering many territories. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And also individually, it's your duty to get competent and sharp. Have some type of repetition of however you study on your own time, rather if it's before you get out the bed, you learning something that you have a gray area in. You know what I'm saying? You owe that to yourself if you're taking yourself seriously. Yeah, keep these things in mind. Any other thoughts anybody else want to have before I transition into astro diagnosis? All right, so we're gonna pick it up from where we left off with astro diagnosis by Max Wendell. We're still in the area of the heart. We're making our way down. Remember, started in the head, transitioned to the throat. Now we're in the heart. It appears that we're gonna be in the lungs pretty soon. So this is a male born September 12th, 1858, 8:15 a.m. Our first concern when diagnosing this horoscope is to ascertain the mental caliber of the patient. Jupiter placed in the house of the higher mind and Mars near the cusp of the house of the lower mind are in opposition, also square to the sun and Mercury. In fact, which stamps the native as a pessimist or pessimistic of an irritable nature. This is accentuated by the opposition of Mercury to Neptune, the lower mind being out of tune with all spiritual concepts. Saturn square Venus prevents the native from seeing the beauty of life, as these adverse testimonies are only counterbalanced by the moon sextile Mercury and the sun and trine Neptune. We may conclude that this person is in a sad state and needs all the help and cheer it is possible to bring him. We are afraid that even the best efforts will avail against such a barrier of pessimism as he has built around himself. Regarding the disease to which he is subject, the cold hand of Saturn in Leo allows us the obstructed heart action, and the consequent sluggish circulation is designated by the square of Saturn to Venus and the square of the sun and Mercury to Jupiter. For Jupiter and Venus govern the arterial and venous circulations, respectively. Uranus sextile Saturn produces a spasmodic action or spasms. A spasmodic action felt as a fluttering of the heart. And being positioned in Gemini, he also imparts a spasmodic motion to the lungs, making it at times difficult for the patient to breathe, though the condition is not so well defined as an asthma. The affliction of the Sun and Mercury in Virgo, opposition Neptune, indicates intestinal trouble. The affliction of the Sun and Mercury by Jupiter and Mars from the houses of travel. Also, the opposition of the last named planets show a predisposition to accidents, especially when on a journey. With this phase of indications, we are not, however, concerned about the present time. We may bend our efforts to accelerate the action of the heart and promote impaired digestion in order to give the person relief and a brighter outlook upon life. As Saturn controls the femmogastric nerve, his presence in Leo shows us that this is the principal seat of the trouble, for this nerve inhibits the heart action. Leo in the heart. Leo in the heart. And acts also upon other vital organs. It is difficult to reach this nerve in an efficient manner when we are clothed in our dense bodies. But the contentious Rosicrucian health adjuster has other means at his disposal, for his obligation to himself taken before the elder brothers enables him to work upon his patients during the hours when his body is sleeping. That's deep. This is how the Rosicrucian people getting down. Remember, the author Max Wendell is a Rosicrucian guy. So that shows you how these certain secret societies know about astrologics in a medical field. It's just secret. But people know outside
They're
of
using it to their advantage too.
right. So once again, when they get your chart, they really get in your chart. When you don't even, before you knew what your chart was, they knew what your chart was. And he is taught how he may materialize fingers inside the body of the ailing and thus give the needed help to remove obstructions, growth, etc. Yes, even to adjust displaced bones. We perceive many letters at headquarters from patients who sense the presence of the invisible helpers and the withdrawal of hands from their bodies at the moment when they wake. The best method to treat a case as this would be for the healer to thoroughly impress upon his or her mind where the seat of the malady is to be found physiologically and astrologically. Then, after retrospection, in the evening, say, now I will go to help my patient under the direction of the elder brothers, letting that be the last waking thought. You hear that? The healer best fitted to take charge of this case will be one whose rising sign is in harmony with Libra. Aquarius will be the first choice and Gemini the second. It is further required that he or she should not have Saturn in Libra or Pisces. I'm just gonna open the floor. We're gonna do one tonight. But yeah, let's hear some thoughts. How y'all feeling about this section right here?
Details as fuck, okay?
That's fuck. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Hey, from the jump though, from page 1, like, you know, like I said, we transition from the head and diagnosing people while they having issues, throat issues, all based on their alignment. You know what I mean? So like, we can, you know, it's all on the record, so you can go on the YouTube page, just go back from the beginning to now, and you're gonna be down there professional. You know, you're gonna be ahead of the game. And like I say, anyone with children or friends or family, at least we're at least of that much more competent, and we're in that space of knowing what direction to send people. It's like, okay, well, we got intestinal issues. Okay, you know what I mean? Virgo, you know, we can kind of pinpoint some things. We can get the chart done and, you know, be able to assist and doctor. You know, we humanitarians, and this is more science, you know, this is more science at play. Astro diagnosing, that's more science. That falls in the sphere, you know. So once again, you know, knowing more, knowing, you know, because like I said, people waking up every day and they of course gonna have narrow-minded projections about things because they're just waking up. So they might just be stuck on the law, or they might just whatever is gravitating to them. But as you grow, you'll start seeing like, for one, it's about the collective, promoting the community of Moors. And because what's gonna happen when you promote that, everybody got certain talents, and it all morphs and organizes. You know, that's why, you know, people vote on things because you want the best results for the body. You want the best, you want the momentum, you know, and you want a situation that promotes, like I say, where nobody has no gray areas no more. That's the whole thing, to make proper decisions, you know, actually, like, and actually, we're actually people, you know, we're friends, we're cordial, we can talk with each other, but, you know, on the same page, you know, just naturally growing, like, you know, it's regular stuff. It ain't too hard. But I just wanted to say that. But I do want to open the floor and hear some more critique on the this chapter we read, though.
Islam. So I noticed his the birth date. This is also another 7 life path. I don't know if that's a theme we're gonna see, but and then the birth time was like 11 portal, so that was pretty cool too. Also, the fact that it seems like wherever there is Saturn, when you're trying to be a healer, it kind of conflicts with the process.
Yeah, I peeped that.
Yeah.
Saturn is like the teacher. That's the planet that hands out karmic lessons and stuff like that. It's the planet of restriction, discipline, and stuff like that. So if it's opposition, or what is it, square, that's definitely a red flag of something that you need to pay attention to. I liked in this chapter how he basically broke it down for practitioners too. If you have certain placements that is not particularly good for you to work with people who have certain energies, like it's a conflict of interest. So I like that he brought that up, because yeah, it's your energy is not going to vibe with everybody, so it's definitely good to be aware of that.
Islam. That also shows that we're gonna need a doctor from every sign, and people from every type of placement to cover the ones that we're not supposed to help, you know, based on our line.
Right.
There's space for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I was talking with my mom earlier. The simple fact that we can consciously change our frequency or polarity or magnetism based on the thoughts that are in our mind. It's a direct relation from the thoughts in your mind to the aura that you get, right? It's a fact. And we was thinking, like, if we consciously do that, we attract. That's just another form, even though we all know, like, you know, we attract what we want to attract. We hear it's cliche at this point. We all get that, but scientifically, that's basically what that means. Like, you know, whatever's on your mind translate to your aura. And
The field.
you know, in the midst of talking to that, it led to something else as far as back to your opposition. I know you mentioned square, which is inharmonious, but opposition promotes harmony in the sense that you're gonna have to get out your comfort zone, messing with the opposite sign, which would appear like, oh, I don't want to do that. But if you do it, you're your best version of yourself, right? So in that sense, that was fascinating how a group of people, and like I say, when I'm gonna say we've been doing this, we're just getting back to doing it right now. We're trending towards getting back. You know, a group of people consciously be around somebody for the purpose of bringing the best version of themselves out. Like literally, like if a group does that, that's back to like intelligence, you know, and you know, heart chakra, the intentions, because for one to want to do that, that means the heart, everybody got the same general heart chakra frequency, because we're thinking back to humanity, back to what our goals and our aspirations are, and they become united. We all have a group of people have the same goal. That makes it one body, you know. In the physical realm, you can see one body, but metaphysically, we all got the same thoughts and the vibrational thoughts.
It's like a collective consciousness.
Right, right. But you need both. You can't just be in the metaphysical. They both got to be kind of working in play. And what you see in the physical has to be a result of the collective, like you say, collective consciousness. But you're supposed to see the progress physically, physical realm. And what I mean by that is the collective conscious are building things. It starts up here, and then after a while, you see, oh, they didn't got some land, they didn't build this, they didn't. Oh, this is beautiful. You can touch it. You can touch, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what it's about too. We can't forget about that, you know. And like I say, some people are more gifted and designed to be up there. They water signs or whatever, and earth signs is, like I say, more, let's get it, let's go, let's make this happen. So that's what it's about, that tug of war, that ebb and flow. Because when you got the polar opposites tugging at each other, you're gonna create, right? Wave, motion. So everybody got to just humble themselves and, you know, be like, look, man, I'm about making correction. I'm about being the best version of myself so I can assist my brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going, as we grow, and like I say, people waking up at a fast clip, but this particular group a year from now is not going to be just waking up. We should be seasoned. So when we see our little nephews and brothers, so to speak, waking up, we should be able to, you know, be a guide for them. And that's what separates a lot of people waking up don't have that. They like I said, they by themselves for the most part, they feel that way. And it's a lot of BS in the game where people, you know, are fickle behind the movement. It's a lot of things, there's a lot of things just going on. A lot of stuff is at play where people's attention is at. So, you know, it take a lot to keep a sincere group of organized people in this day and time. I'm not gonna say in this day and time, but historically, I think things are getting better, but you know, pure-hearted, sincere organization get broke up for a lot of different reasons. So keep that in mind and, you know, comprehend how special what we got going on and the potential of it. You know, the more solid we stay committed on all fronts, it's attractive to people outside, people looking in. So I know, you know, we go through our everyday hustle and bustle and we get, you know, everybody tired, everybody doing what they're doing. Some people get lost in what the whole movement is about, you know, but just keep in mind that people are looking. You stay consistent, more things special are gonna happen. you know? So I just wanted to say that. I'll let somebody else talk. Open the floor, anything, miscellaneous, whatever. And also, whoever's going to the Moorish basketball event, just let me know and I'll text the address. Like I said, right now it's looking like we have a cool little game. About 8 commitments yesterday, so if you weren't part of that 8 and you need the address, just hit me up. It's gonna be in Fullerton at 12. Once again, we feeding the homeless, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So keep that in mind. Also, we're gonna start doing, we're gonna take turns with curriculum. And it can be in a mock style for ones that are still, kind of shy or whatnot, or not used to speaking. But we're gonna take turns. Everybody's gonna compile some information, whatever you want to talk about, history, law, cosmology, whatever. But be able to hold a demonstration for 30 to 40 minutes on notes that you took and deliver it as if you're talking to somebody that don't know nothing. If nobody volunteers, I'm just gonna pick somebody. And then somebody will go, somebody else will go. And that'll be a way to show what you know and what you can comprehend, and your comprehension translates in organization. So you're gonna talk about something in an organized manner. You're gonna already have your notes queued up. You keep your cell phone, whatever, and you're gonna show and prove. You're gonna say something. You're gonna support it with evidence, whether it be books, whatever, and law, whatever you're doing. And it should be about 30 minutes. Everybody should have that capability in organization. We nobles, we're saying we Moors. A Moor is historically got a certain character, a certain brilliance. Moors are brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to throw that out there. Anybody else have any other thoughts before I close out?
When are we gonna be doing this?
As soon as possible.
So the next Zoom, or?
Well, I'm gonna give it to if nobody volunteers to be the first person by Sunday, I'll just do a random, and then we'll start it like that. And then once that person completes, I'll give somebody opportunity to volunteer. Nobody volunteer.
Okay, so it's like no set time, just everybody go until everybody there. I
Yeah.
wanted to write it in the notes. So okay.
Yeah. So by the Sunday's notes, we'll have somebody for us to start. And then like once they do their presentation and they finish it, somebody else. Yeah. Any other thoughts? All right. Well, everybody have a beautiful night. Hope you had a beautiful week. Hope you had a beautiful holy day. And peace and love. Love everybody. And Islam.
Islam.
Happy Holy
Islam.
Day.
Peace and love. Happy Holy Day.
Happy holiday, Muslims. Peace and love, more body to Islam nobles.
Islam. Y'all have a good night.